Oggi dobbiamo parlare di una deutsch-italienische Freundschaft, un'amicizia italo-tedesca, ma non un'amicizia così sulla carta, ma dal punto di vista istituzionale, perché all'inizio di quest'anno il Ministero degli Affari Esteri e della Cooperazione Internazionale e il Ministero dell'Economia e dell'Energia tedesco hanno iniziato a promuovere un approccio più cooperativo fra i due paesi, promuovendo una serie di incontri settoriali bilaterali in collaborazione con le fiere e le associazioni italiane e tedesche. Italia e Germania hanno un ruolo leader sia dal punto di vista delle fiere che della produzione, nonostante l'impatto della pandemia sul settore, anzi forse proprio in seguito all'impatto della pandemia sul settore, cioè quando prendi degli schiaffoni e ti guardi e si è più di uno, magari ti viene anche da darti una mano vicendevolmente. Italia e Germania vogliono preservare e migliorare idealmente il loro record e quindi questa è un'attività che punta a facilitare le relazioni fra i due paesi e migliorare tutto quello che c'è in termini di cooperazione fra Italia e Germania. Durante questi incontri, fiere, associazioni, industrie italiane e tedesche condividono visioni e soluzioni appunto per rafforzare il coordinamento e eventuale partnership futura. ACIMGA è stata la prima associazione di settore a essere stata contattata e coinvolta nell'ambito di questo progetto, che è partito nell'ambito della Drupa Digital aprile 2021, dove ACIMGA da parte italiana e Fedema da quella tedesca, quella VDMA, hanno fornito una prima analisi sulla sostenibilità nel settore delle macchine da stampa. Oggi c'è la seconda tappa in questo senso. Noi avremmo dovuto avere un collegamento istituzionale e ce l'abbiamo perché lo vedo nel monitor, allora lo presento, è ingegnere informatico, dal 2013 è capogruppo del Movimento 5 Stelle nella Commissione Affari Esteri e dal 2018 è sottosegretario di Stato agli Affari Esteri, l'onorevole Manlio Di Stefano.
Buongiorno a tutti.
Buongiorno onorevole, benvenuto e grazie per la sua partecipazione. Le do la parola per introdurre questa tavola rotonda che vedrà insieme Italia e Germania all'interno di questa operazione. Prego.
Grazie. Distinguished guests, dear representatives from Italian and German companies and business associations, I am delighted to have the opportunity to open this roundtable in the context of a CIMGA Future Factory program. We are indeed conveyed today for the second event of the bilateral sectoral meetings between Italy and Germany, a project that, together with my colleague Ulrich Nussbaum, we launched last April on the occasion of the Drupa Digital. Let me first thank ACIMCA, VDMA, and Drupa, key players of the printing and converting industry in Italy and Germany, for believing in this initiative, jointly supporting it with a spirit of effective cooperation, and for contributing to today's agenda. I'm extremely proud to have as partners two of the most important trade fairs in Europe in the sector, and among the first at the global level. The project of bilateral sectorial meetings is aimed at making Italian and German fairs as privileged fora of bilateral dialogue and intensified coordination in areas of common interest, such as fair trade, calendars, cooperation in third countries and sectorial policies. The printing machines industry has just been the first field of cooperation, as starting from next October we will further extend the projects to other industrial sectors such as agricultural machinery. Trade fairs are indeed key drivers of domestic growth and international trade, and Italy and Germany are the most important fairs industries in Europe and among the first at the global level. Consequently, since the beginning of the pandemic outbreak, both the Italian and German governments have firmly supported trade fairs industries with financial and promotional measures in order to recover and overcome the negative effects of the crisis. The Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has provided for a pillar specifically dedicated to trade fairs within the Italian national strategy to boost and recover the internationalization of the Italian economy, the so-called Patto per l'Export. We have been working hard toward a concerted approach between Italy and Germany in order to help our exhibitors, organizers, and companies to strengthen cooperation that value each other's skill and specializations in the global market. In this context, our vision for the future is based on the benefits of cooperation rather than on the stories of competition. Indeed, in the constant changing post-pandemic scenario, crucial importance will be devoted to innovative dialogue platforms to exchange ideas and views on the market trends and future policy challenges. On our side, Italian companies are eager to develop cooperation and win-win strategies together with their German partners because they are fully aware that this will help strengthening their common position on the global market. Italian and Germany printing and converting machinery industries are the natural actors to take up this challenge, presenting the best and widest range of production in the sector, being both highly specialized and ranking among the top 3 exporters worldwide. Moreover, printing and converting business communities of both countries are extremely dynamic, proactive, and open to share experiences, ideas, and solutions. This makes Achinga and BDMA worldwide trendsetters, representing a reference of paramount importance for the global industry, such as position gives more momentum to today's discussion, whose conclusion I'm sure will have a wider impact. Our direction is clear. It lays in the important role played by the printing and converting sector in the environmental transition of our economies. This is one of the main priorities of the Italian government, as demonstrated by the creation of the Ministry of Environmental Transition and the environmental aspects of the National Plan for Recovery and Resilience. Moreover, this year, Italy has put climate change and the contrast to biodiversity laws at the heart of its international action through the G20 presidency and the COP26 co-presidency in partnership with the UK. The political efforts are fundamental to achieve sustainable development, but the concrete results in terms of environmental protection need the contribution of the private sector. That is why today we are all eager to hear suggestions and ideas of the Italian and German printing and converting business communities on how their industry will adapt to the challenges posed by climate change by implementing strategies aimed at reducing waste, reusing, and recycling. I am firmly convinced that this pandemic has made clear that sustainability is not a trend, but rather an unbeatable necessity for our societies and the global market of the future. The common target of the public and the private sector is to preserve and improve our sustainability records. Therefore, we believe that this long-lasting cooperative approach between Italy and Germany, the 2 main manufacturing countries in Europe, will be a great significance and impact. I look forward to meet again you in person during the Print for All in 2022 edition that will take place in Milan next May 22. I wish all of you a fruitful discussion.
Grazie mille, grazie al sottosegretario degli affari esteri Manlio Di Stefano per la sua introduzione, and we'll switch to English. Volevo ringraziare in italiano, ma adesso andiamo in inglese. In the EU, the printing sector is separated in different segments like commercial printing, book printing, newspaper printing, and so on. One of the most relevant sectors in packaging printing is packaging printing, and packaging production. We can see a solid and global growth of this sector on one side, and on the other side, we see almost all regions, we see discussions about the sustainability of packaging. This topic is currently dominating the political agenda. In almost all regions, environmental targets for sustainable climate protection are rising. Our industry is aware of this task, and it's already implementing innovative technologies today. Due to the pandemic situation, the packaging market is growing faster, and label and packaging printing have proven to be system relevant. We will talk about the relevance of packaging, the challenge of being sustainable, and also about the future of packaging. I would like to welcome our panel guests connected in streaming, the German side of this panel. Dr. Markus Hering, Managing Director of the Printing and Paper Technology Association within FEDEMA. Mr. Michael Wombacher, CEO of Pola and board member of the Printing and Paper Technology Association within Mechanical Engineering Industry Association. And live on stage, I would like to welcome Daniele Barbui, President of Acinga and CEO of Ace Electrostatic, and Andrea Briganti, General Manager of Director of Acinga. You already know. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to you. Everybody's there. Welcome and thank you for being here. I will ask the same question to everyone and we'll go around with the answers. Please keep your answers as effective and brief as possible. So we'll start with Andrea Briganti, then we'll have Wombacher, Herring, and then Mr. Barbui. The first question is, how important is packaging for your organization within the German or the Italian market? Andrea.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Marcus. Hello, Mr. Wombacher. Packaging is very important because everything is packaging, everything is printed out because of due to the safe food and safe food item and target for our community. So I would like only to come back just a little bit to the content of this roundtable because of I pass the words to Daniele Barbui and to the German side. I would like to thank you again, both of the ministries. German ministry is not here for the moment due to his agenda, but I thank them very much because we made two, this is the second roundtable we made for this gentleman agreement between two ministries. And so we are proud of that because we were the first in virtual Drupa. As Italian side, we are the first for the second round now in Future Factory for Print for All 2022. So coming back to the matter, I think that packaging is very important and sustainability for packaging is one of the key points of the future lied to the packaging. That's the reason why we made a supply chain, Federazione Cartagrafica, with Comieco, which is the consortium that recycle the packaging, paper packaging, but we work a lot for this kind of approach because we think that packaging could have a perfect economy, circular economy, just because the impact is very huge and high. It depends on material, but it depends on the recycling platforms too. So I pass the word to the people more engaging than me in the sectorial market.
Herr Wombacher, please.
Buon pomeriggio.
Grazie.
Thank you. Okay. Packaging, I think, looking from the manufacturing side and the production equipment side, I see as, on one hand, a growing market, but on the other hand, also an opportunity if we look on automation, and I heard a lot about Industry 4.0, also of an integration of the process. So printing the packaging, but also using the packaging for the printed goods to ship it to the final customer. So in this case, the printing market and the packaging solutions are becoming more and more an integrated part of the production process, not only produce the packaging, but also use the packaging to ship the produced goods. In this point, if we enlarge the value chain, also the recycling discussion can offer also new opportunities for the print shop to get a better integration in the overall value chain for the printed goods.
Mr. Herring.
Let's talk a little bit about the market and the relevance of packaging. If we at VDMA, we cover everything from paper making technology up to converting, includes printing technologies, also printing for packaging, packaging production, and just packaging machines are out of our scope. At this section within VDMA, we have different packaging sections as maybe some of you know. And we have seen within the last 10, 20 years, we have seen a switch from other niches, other sectors to packaging. We have seen newspaper is more and more shrinking. It's not anymore as relevant as it has been before. We see commercial printing is shrinking. We see book printing and book production is maybe stable, but it's not a growing market. And on the other hand, we have packaging as a sector, and we have a continuous growth within the last years, and still our forecasts tell us that we will have also in the next 10 years stable growth within packaging. So this also from this side, from this economic side, is becoming more and more important, and we see this growth is worldwide. That we also the emerging markets are growing, the well-established markets, developed markets are growing. We in Germany, we are one of the most important packaging markets in Europe. We have still a growth, even maybe it's a little bit smaller, but the total amount is big. We see European Union packaging is growing with all materials. We see that in Asia, we see that in North America. So this is a little bit the future and the growing aspect of our industry, and therefore packaging is so important. And we have, on the other side, we have a must for packaging. As Andrea said at the beginning, without packaging, you can't deliver products. You have to save foods with packaging and other points. So there will be also in the future a must, but we also have some challenges on the side of sustainability where we have to work on. So this is the aspect of packaging what we have a little bit in Germany.
La parola al Presidente, thank you. Daniele Barbui, President of Acinga.
Packaging sector is growing worldwide, and for sure is expected further growing in the next coming years. In Italy is absolutely an important sector, but what I would like to underline is the cooperation between the main key players in the supply chain. Raw material producers, printers, converters, and equipment and machine manufacturers are all together involved daily in the common development of new packaging. That's extremely important, and we can see an incredible growth of packaging consumption in Italy too. But what's important to underline again is that despite this big growing of packaging consumption, the eco-sustainability is always the same, because such packaging has been developed in a way to be easy recyclable. That's extremely important for me.
Thank you. The second question is, what are the tasks for the industry in general and in the sustainable sector? And we'll start with Mr. Wombacher.
From my point of view, in the, let me say, more developed countries is automation and productivity to grow on a better way to get, with the digitalization, easier output of the product. On the less developed market, I think there's also still some space for the existing technologies, but all of them are converting in a higher automation and a higher productivity need. So all the new activities, which are called Industry 4.0, are necessary to get a closer production chain and a more closed loop in the information development to be faster, more flexible, and also better in your overall quality control for the process.
Thank you. Mr. Herring.
Yeah, first of all, we have some common aspects. What we are talking about is digitalization, as Mr. Wombacher said before, is supply chain. What we see right now with the international supply chain, we have sometimes problems to get microchips or other parts from Asia, delivery problems. The result is that we have problems to deliver out our technology. Of course, we are still facing a pandemic situation worldwide with a challenge for traveling and delivering parts and services. This is still a point. We are still in discussion what international affairs, how to develop our relationships to Asia, to North America is still a challenge. This is one side, and the other side is, I would say, everything around environmentally or sustainability, all the points. CO2 emissions is an issue. We are speaking about sustainable finance becoming more and more important also within the European Union. We have the challenge, climate change. New generation is demonstrating against climate change and asking for actions. We're speaking about waste worldwide, speaking about plastics in the oceans, plastic beside the streets. This is a challenge. And we have to deliver solutions for this environmental sustainable aspect as an industry. We have to be aware of the challenge, what is coming from these discussions. And there is a basis for this discussion that we have to see and to recognize. But on the other side, I'm sure that we as an industry are able to deliver solutions and are able to offer that for the industry. And as I said before, packaging is a must. We need packaging in the future. We need it for delivery products. We need it for saving foods and other points. So it's an enabler for modern life. And therefore, we have to find a solution on one side being enabled and on the other side being as environmental friendly as possible as an industry.
Thank you. Mr. Barboui.
In addition to the previous comments, which are extremely clear, and I don't want to repeat everything.
Of course.
I want to say only a short phrase that packaging industry has an educational role, especially versus new generation, because we have to take care of our planet, of the environment, and that's the message that packaging industry has to do.
Andrea Briganti.
Yes, I would like only to just point out some of the things already discussed by previous persons. I agree totally with all of the contents already talked about. I would like only to say that we would like to build up as an association a sort of web portal in the next future, in the next months, in which you can find all the information about the sustainability, environmental impact, and whatever is lied to the packaging sector, because packaging is define a lot of things, but we are sure that this supply chain is the right place to produce, where the packaging is produced and where the environmental impact is facing during the production. Packaging as dosing and filling machine is other things, is end of line and nothing compared to the efforts that this supply chain is doing to face environmental and social impact and to produce packaging. So we would like to build up this portal, and then we would like to continue this face-to-face Faudema Achinga, maybe in the portal, just to give updated the community which are the position and the task for the future, sustainability, recycling, materials, and so on, of the two most important countries in terms of production. But this is an overview, so I will talk to Marcus and this board in the next few days just to be sure that we can follow on with these contents changing.
One last question for each one of you. What should be the industry's next step in the sustainable sector of packaging? Of course, there are many steps which should be taken, but pick one and talk about that, please. And we'll start with Mr. Herring, please.
I guess the challenges what we have, we need to answer this. We need more cooperation to other industries or to the entire process chain of packaging. That includes paper making, that includes brand owners, includes designers, includes printing. Includes also the end user to close the loop for recycling. And the only way to do this is cooperation. And not only cooperation across the industries, also cooperation on the international side, European-wide, also I guess worldwide. And that we have to begin, and that will be a long way to reach finally the goals with everybody.
Mr. Barboui.
In my opinion, research and development. If we think of the level of packaging quality we have achieved today, it was possible only thanks to the big investment that main packaging producers, printers and converters did during last years. So I think that this is the way to go.
Thank you. Andrea Briganti?
Yes, I totally agree with the content that Mr. Barbui and Daniele say about. I think research and development, because is the main task to understand which are the trends in terms of impacts and extend the concept of the supply chain doing that. Because if you talk only about segments standalone, I mean, if you talk only about technology manufacturing, you have only one point of view in terms of global impact. You have to understand that you have to enlarge the research and development, you have to be cross-cultural, you have to have a different impact in the task for the future, just because of we have to look at the problem, at the challenge of the future from different point of views. This is the most important because it's a cultural way to not only technical one.
And the last comment is from Mr. Wombacher, please.
Thank you very much. We talk a lot about challenges, but I think changes are also often an opportunity. And if we look to packaging, if we see the discussion about plastic-free packaging, I think as Mr. Dr. Hering mentioned, collaboration can be an enabler to find good solutions which are able to be also accepted on the global market. And it's mainly food packaging. Plastic-free is a good point where a lot of issues have to be touched and developed to find a solution which is feasible to package food, not only liquid one, but also on cold temperature or normal temperature. So I think technology and collaboration will enable us to make good products and develop our business.
Thank you very much. As that old British song says, we'll meet again if this partnership will go on. So thank you to Mr. Markus Hering, to Mr. Michael Wombacher, Daniele Barbui and Andrea Briganti. Grazie mille a tutti.
Thanks to you.